Alright, I'm back, and right now I'm going to be soldering the LDD driver boards. This is the 4, and then these are the terminal blocks that the wires from the power supplies, the controller, and then the LED outputs are going to be plugged into. So I'm going to do these first, then I'm going to move on to my LDD drivers. But first I'm going to knock out the 4 LDD driver board and then the 2 6 LDD driver boards. So basically you just stick these pegs into the holes. Flip it over. And I'm not going to zoom in here, but it is a little bit different than at least the tips I saw on YouTube. A little bit different than soldering the boards, but basically you're going to try to keep the solder away from the iron, and so you're going to hit one side of the peg with the iron and the other side with the solder. And this is my first time doing this too, so I'm going to tin my iron, flick the excess off. And I think that's basically it. I think I did it right. Alright, so that side's done. I'm going to turn my fan on because I'm inhaling these fumes I'm not really supposed to inhale. I'm not wearing safety glasses. I should be. One thing I've noticed is that the flux can jump off the solder and get you in the fingers, so it's probably a smart idea to wear safety glasses. But the flux can kind of, I don't know, almost boil and pop and go over your hand and stuff like that. Doesn't happen too often, but straighten out my solder. Alright, so that board is done. I think I'm going to make sure that the connections are solid. Well, they're not falling, so that's a good sign. And they're really sturdy. And basically you want to look for the same thing, basically a smooth surface that is shiny. And I'm pretty sure all of them are good. If you wanted to, which I don't know if I'm going to do for sure or not, you take some side snips and you can snip off these pegs. These are pretty low, so I'm not too worried about those. But with the LDD, their pegs are a little bit longer. But I'm going to move this off to the side. Actually, I'll zoom in real quick. It's going to be a little bit blurry, so. So I don't know if you can see that or not. It's pretty dark, and I apologize about that, but that's basically it. Terminal blocks are in. And actually, this one's shaking a little bit, so I'm going to resolder it. Or maybe. Actually, that just might be the plastic, because these pegs aren't moving at all. Yeah, that's just the plastic, because when I'm looking at it, these pegs aren't moving. So I'm gonna move on to the 6. And I have 2 of these for a total of 16 drivers. So basically I'm gonna flip it over. And that one came out. I'll mess with that one later. Alright, now I'm gonna hit these with solder. Make sure they're facing the right way. Okay. It's not going as smoothly as the first one. Let's see if I can get in the rhythm here. Looks like the solder is just going straight to the tip, which is not what I want, because they'll burn off all the flux before it gets to the pad, which cleans the pad. Definitely is not going as smooth as before. I have a couple cold joints, I think. I'm just going to basically over solder ones I hit with cold joints, and then I'll hit them later with the little sucker thing right here. Oh, and some solder just came out of there. You can see that's solder that I've been sucking up. It just comes out dry. So that side I'm going to say is done. Flip it over. Readjust my solder. This side's going much better. There's a cold joint. Now I'm going to take care of that right now. So I'm going to heat it up. And it looks like that took care of it. I don't know exactly what I don't know if it's like a solid piece of solder that gets stuck from the iron into the joint you're making, or what exactly happens. Right now, I'm gonna read 10 real quick. Alright. Looks like that's helping a little bit. I think that's what I need to do. I need to tin it more because the solder wants to go towards the heat. So if the board's not getting enough heat, the solder won't start to melt. But if you tin it, you get a better contact with the tab. So I think I just need to tin it. And then because of the weight, the solder will fall off the tip. And solder the board together. So I'm going to tin it again real quick for this last one. Alright, now that was kind of messy, but they're attached. I'm not shaking at all. I'm just going to go over and make sure they're not too messy. They look pretty clean. I mean, they're shiny, so I'm not too worried about it. This isn't like a professional job or anything. It should have fine contact. So this one looks actually pretty good, even though it looked messy. But it's pretty smooth and pretty shiny. Same with this one over here. So I'm just gonna leave those. Move on to this board. So those are the two boards. I'm gonna stop the film and I'll start the film up again when I move on to the LDDs.